Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Roblox reaction. Today we have one from a new game, Bite by Night. A lot of people have asked for this over the past few weeks. I saw talks of this game like when it was first releasing, saw some gameplay clips in there, and I'm like, okay, doesn't look bad at all. It's just like, all right. But also I have a very direct link to the Five Nights at Freddy's musicscape in general, so I'm going to be very picky about this one. So Zocarp, you better have made a banger. I know this is like your LMS version. This is supposed to be like the pinnacle of it, so I don't know what the original sounds like. Not gonna worry about it unless people really want me to hear that, but either way I'm gonna start here just because I wanted to. It was the one that popped up and I'm like, okay, let's go. But like I said, I've been around here for longer than some of you guys watching this have probably been alive. Unironically, I was around when the game first showed up in the scene, so I know what I'm getting myself into. So I guess without further ado, let's go! Ooh. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, Zocarp knows what they're doing already. Now I'm gonna be super picky. This is experience. That's a familiar chord progression. Yep. Bringing Tombstone into this, aren't you? Yep. Okay. I didn't think it was gonna be like a literal motif as far as inspiration went. Oh, it's just like straight up. Okay, you got the lyrics in there too. This isn't just like a remix, is it? I mean, he's adding to it for sure. Zocarp has stuff going on here. Okay, yeah, changing up a little bit. I appreciate that a lot, actually. Okay. Ooh. Hey, jazzy on the outro there. I'm more impressed than I expected to be. I'll be real with you. Ooh. Ooh. Nice way to tail that off, too. I really love it when people don't just end the song. It's fine when it does, but once in a while you get a song that just feels like it wouldn't land as nicely if it just stopped. You know, this one having that little tail at the end really let that emotion drag out. I really like that, actually. Hell yeah, Zocarp. Actually, whoa, what the hell? All right, Zocarp, I got a bone to pick with you. Did you transpose this? Like, it's a great version of the song, right? But like, there's differences here, I swear. It might just be my ear, but like, I'm pretty sure this is still in B flat minor, which is the key of the original to my knowledge and recollection of it, because it's been forever since I've looked into this song at all. But like, I'm pretty sure that's where we are. But in this song, I feel like we have stuff like the A diminished instead of like the D diminished that's in the original version to, again, my recollection here. Because like, largely, we're still following the same chord progression, right? That's what I'm confused about. But it feels weird. Like, it feels like he's going to like G flats and, again, A diminished instead. For all who don't know music theory, that probably made no sense. But to Zocarp specifically, if you happen to see this, what did you do? Because this is one of those tracks where you could kind of transpose it a little bit in order to make it fit a slightly different key, like to shift the emotion in one direction or the other. And that could be why this version of the song feels like it's a little bit more aggressive, like part of the chase rather than the emotional beat of the original. So, I mean, there's still definitely that in there, and it's obviously a bunch of the other instruments in this one, this specific arrangement, that makes it feel more energetic. It's sped up a little bit. There's a lot more going on musically, instrumentally. There's just a lot more happening. The guitars, for example, sick riff game, like plenty of good factors about this arrangement, but the chord progression specifically has me like stuck. Like, are we doing the same thing here? Like, I'm not positive. And I'm really leaning into maybe not, but it's stuff like the A diminished where I'm like, are you? Because like, again, because I'm still very much on the edge with how this progression goes. It could be very much like the well-known piano progression of this one, which is, oh man. There we go. Like I said, it's been a few years. That was really hard for me to like get my brain back in place. But this, right? That's what I'm kind of wondering, because like that relationship, that half step up, is kind of the similar thing to what we're getting with the diminished on that, given these two. So we could have that, like, just in a slightly different place on the keys. And it wouldn't necessarily call for a full transposition, meaning all of the notes be completely transposed to, like, another key. It could just be playing slightly different chords, but in the same pattern, like the same chord structure in different chords. That gets into the music theory of how you do things, but it doesn't necessarily have to follow that line. Like, for example, this one could be doing like B flat, still going down to the A flat, and instead of utilizing that, they would go to like the G flat and probably the D flat down here and back up to the F, like keeping very similar notes down here, just down the octave potentially. There's a lot going on with this that I have questions about. Zocarp, get into the comments if you happen to watch this, because I'm confused and I'm not good enough at piano to really know exactly what's going on there. I've fiddled around for years. I know my music theory stuff now, but stuff like this has me wondering. I feel like it's in the original, but there's also another part of me like, no, that's different. That's definitely different. But if it wasn't clear by all of my yapping there about the music theory of this song, this is really good. This is a really good, like, remix. I would just call it a straight up remix of the original. It's not necessarily a one-to-one by any means. There's plenty of extra layers to this, but that's how you fucking do an homage. That's how you use a motif. That's how you evolve an existing track. This is how you do it. I've had this argument with the Roblox scene at large where, like, some people will just kind of take the original and then rip all of the good out of it. Honestly, like, it just kind of left me going, well, that was mid. But this one is how you add to it. This is how you evolve this. It sounds a lot more aggressive. It sounds exactly like somebody who would be chasing you down. Between the electronic stuff being added, the guitars and everything like I mentioned earlier, there's just more here, and it's a very well done arrangement overall. I also especially love how he arpeggiated the B flat minor at the end, and also the D flat in there, although it could have been, if not just one time, I think he might have done it with the D diminished there and then brought it up. And I do love this relationship, because that relationship right there, those two notes, because these two notes right here just kind of sing the original tragedy of the original version of the song. That really crunchy relationship is just everything that the original song was and everything that this new version brought to the table. It's a very, very good version. I was going to be critical, but I don't see a reason to be. This is just a genuinely fantastic take on It's Been So Long. And while there's, again, a lot of the motif work in here, a lot of the song is derived from that, there's still so much that he added to make it sound like an original piece and pay homage without just stealing the original and rolling with that, because that is a definite difference. There's a whole wall between I have taken this song and I am just repurposing it and I'm just yanking it out of their portfolio and putting it in mine, which is probably the worst possible option, or this, which is, hey, let me reimagine this. Let me add some stuff to it, change the emotional hook. That's why I think that the song might have been transposed a little bit, because the emotion isn't there as tight as the original, but he brings it back with things like that arpeggio at the end. It just hooks you right back around from it being like a scary chase theme to, oh, there's like the backstory is still here and you're not losing any of that. And I think that that is fantastic. Like a really, really good version. Now I really want to hear more from Zocarp in general. Doesn't have to be Bite My Night stuff. It could be anything. I'm just curious about their skill in being able to do this and do it right, because that factor always gives them extra points for me. I love it when composers can actually take things and expand upon them. That shows a skill, like an inherent knowledge of music that isn't just taking something and running with somebody else's work. That shows true dedication and respect for the original pieces, and that shows me that their original work would probably be just as emotionally full as this one was. Because there's also that separation of, sure, you're paying homage, you're borrowing somebody else's motif work and you're bringing that into something new and you're changing it to be something new. But when you make your original works, when you already have this sort of talent proven, usually the stuff you put your heart and soul into, the stuff that's 100% yours, matters so much more to you in the grand scheme of things, and it sounds more in depth and even better. So like the fact that this is my first experience to my knowledge with Zocarp's work, this is good. And it's a really good sign that there's going to be more coming forward. So even if Zocarp doesn't see this and I don't get any of the answers to the questions I have, I think that this is still a brilliant take on this song, and I love the change that they did to the overall emotion of it without completely gutting it of all of its identity too. Just having it subtly in there with the vocals. It wasn't just like, hey, let's lean into that song and just make it the front and center feature of this track. They really nestled it back in there and chose to use the music to speak rather than, oh, look, did you see it? It's a living tombstone. Look, you know, just, it wasn't that. It wasn't brain dead trash. It was legitimate effort and talent formed into this version of the song. And again, I respect the hell out of that. But I have been yapping for a while, so I will end it here. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else from Zocarp or anything else from Bite by Night that might not be from them, or anything else from Roblox as a whole, drop it in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!